Hi guys, this is Kate. Over there is kind of a corner thing, so that means you are in Kate's corner. Seeing as I am still in America, that means you're in Kate versus America edition 4, San Diego. To make this really easy for anyone that does not give a shit about Comic-Con, I'm breaking this one up. First, I'm going to talk about the things that have no relation to Comic-Con. Then I will talk about Comic-Con, and then I'm going to show some footage from Comic-Con that I took when I was there. If you don't care about Comic-Con, that's okay. You can just watch the first part and then you can piss off. If you only care about Comic-Con, that's okay too. You can skip the first part and then watch all the awesome stuff afterwards. Enjoy! So I arrived in San Diego on Tuesday last week. Today is also Tuesday, so I've been here a week now. And to start, it was really exciting because Debbie came. I have company, no longer in my own presence, and I have someone Australian to talk to so that I don't lose my accent. Best. Once she arrived, we were both really hungry, so we went and had lunch at the restaurant across the road from our hotel, Anthony's Seafood. It was quite yummy. It was really nice to just sit by the water and enjoy a meal with someone for a change. The food was really good. Waitress was overly friendly. We can deal with that. After lunch, we walked around Seaport and I felt really horrible because Debbie still had a bad ankle, but we made it in the end. We found this awesome place called Sweet Things, which is a frozen yogurt place. We pretty much had frozen yogurt every single day while we were here. We walked back to the hotel and we had dinner just downstairs. I think it's called Elephant and something. That's good enough. So we had dinner there. I was so full from eating the late lunch that I didn't really get through any of my meal. It was embarrassing, but it's okay because it wasn't that good anyway. Then on Wednesday, we went for a walk again. We caught the trolley down to the gas lamp area, which is where Comic-Con is, and we had breakfast at Broken Yolk. For those of you who watch Man vs. Food, that was one of the places that he went to. The challenge looked pretty hectic. I mean, I probably could have eaten it, but it would have taken me a really long time. We found the picture of him against the wall with his shirt and the plaque saying Man vs. Food has been here. That was really exciting. You could see all of the nerds starting to gather. And we went and picked up our tickets for Comic-Con. We also went grocery shopping, which was probably a mistake. Probably should have done that when we weren't going to be walking around for hours. You get a goodies bag with your Comic-Con ticket, and my goodies bag broke because it was full of groceries. When we were grocery shopping, we decided we had to get some kind of cream for Debbie's ankle because she had hurt the other one now as well. So we got a really excitingly named cream called Bengay. We went and got froyo again. Then we remembered that it was actually the 11th of the 7th, which in America is 7-Eleven Day. We get 2, yeah! We went and found a 7-Eleven and got free Slurpees. I got a combination of Coke and pina colada, and Debbie got pina colada. It was delicious and free, which makes it even more delicious. And then we had dinner in Little Italy, where we waited a really long time for our food, which came out undercooked. Good thing they gave us a discount. If the pasta had been cooked properly, I'm sure it would have been awesome. Yesterday, we took a shuttle bus to Balboa Park, which is sort of like it's where the zoo is, park areas and different museums and stuff. So we took a shuttle over there. First thing we saw was an organ theatre. Walked around the Japanese gardens there, which were really cool. It's really good to see all the effort that goes into making them and maintaining them. Like all of the grass was individually planted. We went and had a look at the Air and Space Museum, so I nerded out for a bit there. We saw a cactus garden. Both of our cameras decided to crap themselves at about the same time. We went and had lunch in one of the little cafes there next to the Galileo Theatre. We got some Dippin' Dots, which are awesome. I love them. Then we came back home, packed up everything, went to the post office so we could get a poster tube to store some of our loot from Comic-Con. We went and had dinner at Fred's again. Then we came back here, went to bed, and now it's time to go. So if you do not care about Comic-Con at all, please tune out now. If this is all you have been hanging out for, get ready. There is an information overload coming your way. If you're tuning out now, sayonara. See you next time for the Santa Monica edition and then the Hawaii edition. It is really depressing to know that in approximately a week and a bit's time, I'm going to be home. I actually cried. So, see you guys soon. And for those sticking around for Comic-Con, brace yourselves. Comic-Con. Wednesday was preview night where we went and picked up our tickets and got some sweet froyo. Outside the froyo place was the entire collection of the Batmobile. That was super exciting. There was every one of them, all the way back to the Adam West TV show, all the way forward to the Tumblr of the new movie. Suck shit, I saw the car in real life and you guys have not. Suck on that. Thursday, day one official of Comic-Con, queued up at 6 a.m. was still pretty far back in the line, but not too bad. This was all to get into Hall H to see a whole bunch of really awesome panels. I'm going to run through them one by one. First panel was the Twilight panel. You can make fun of me for that later, I don't care, I had a blast. We saw lots of footage from the upcoming movie, and pretty much every single vampire in the movie was there, and Jacob Taylor Lautner as well, he was there, and Stephenie Meyer, the writer, was there also. The only person really missing was the director, Bill Cotton. Second panel, it was the Disney panel. A dude called Chris from Nerdist was the MC host moderator guy, and he was funny as shit. I love that guy. I'm going to totally subscribe to everything that guy does from now on. So Tim Burton's Frankenweenie was the first panel in the Disney panel, and we got to see a lot of footage from the movie. That was really, really cool to see, and it was really awesome to be in the same room as one of my favorite directors of all time. Second panel in the Disney panel was The Great and Powerful Oz. It was just the director, and then Mila Kunis and Michelle Williams came out as well, since they're in the movie, and we got to see an extended trailer that is yet to be released, and we got a free The Great and Powerful Oz poster, so that's in my little loot over there. The next one in the Disney panel was Wreck-It Ralph with John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman. They came out. I didn't really know what it was just from looking at the posters. I hadn't seen anything about it. They played about 5 minutes of the movie, and it actually looks like it could be really good, so I'm quite keen on seeing that one. Then the Disney panel ended. The next one was Jackie Chan for his new movie, 12 Zodiac. It was really funny. Jackie Chan just talks and talks and talks and talks, and the guy kept trying to make him sit down in his seat, but no, Jackie Chan was not having any of that. Picked up his microphone and was standing there, and then a French girl in the movie came out, and because Jackie Chan was standing, she stood, and it was really awkward. His English is so broken that when people were getting up and asking him questions, he'd kind of just answer a different question. By that point of the day, we'd gotten really close to the front, so we were right there. After Jackie Chan was The Expendables 2, so we were in the same room as Sylvester Stallone, Terry Crews, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Randy Couture, so many awesome people. Chuck Norris and Bruce Willis were not there, which was disappointing. Whatever, fucking Governator was there. And we got to see some scenes from that movie. That was really awesome. And that was the end of day one. We went and had dinner at Fred's Mexican. The best part about that day for both of us was when we were walking after Fred's to get to the trolley station. I decided to stop off at Pinkberry and get some froyo. And Batman was in froyo. And he was just sitting there really casually, nonchalantly eating his frozen yogurt in full Batman attire with a suitcase. Batman's time off, he eats at Pinkberry. Batman endorses Pinkberry, you heard it here first. Day 2, Friday, was possibly the shittest day ever. I was actually in tears from how bad this day was. Got into the queue at about 9, my mistake. The queue was ridiculous. There was no way I was going to get into the first panel, which was the Big Bang Theory, so I missed out on that. Debbie luckily got in to see Community, and then she met me in the queue. Funniest thing about that day was probably that I was sitting right behind 2 Star Trek zombies. I was calling them the Death Trekkers, if anyone's familiar with Death Troopers. They were getting their photo taken left, right, and center, so I'm probably in the background of a lot of photos. After about the 4th or 5th one, I started playing along, and I was in the background going like, I'm going to be internet famous very soon. Once the 6 hours was up that it took me to get into the hall and having to listen to God Botherers for 6 hours, asking us to repent our sins, finally got into the hall, had missed most of what I wanted to see, but we managed to catch the end of the Resident Evil panel. We also got to see the Looper panel with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yes, Debbie's future husband. We got to see Total Recall panel with Colin Farrell, Kate Beckinsale, the dude who played the dad in Malcolm in the Middle, I can't remember his name. Surprise excitement panel, the Elysium panel. I had not heard about this. Once the director from District 9 came out, I knew this was going to be good, and lo and behold, Matt Damon! We got to see Matt Damon in the flesh. Yes. And he was telling us a really delightful story about how most of the movie was filmed in a dump, like the biggest dump they could find, which was in New Mexico, and all the dust that is in the dump is actually fecal matter. He was telling us a delightful story about how he and the guy that was in District 9, who's also in this, they were standing there at the end of the day pretty much black from dust, just thinking to themselves, we're covered in shit. When you eventually watch that movie, know that they're standing and breathing in poo. We went and had dinner at Ghirardelli because it was such a shitty day. Ghirardelli is a ice creamery, so I got a massive banana split. Debbie got a caramel fudge thingo, which looked awesome, and we loaded up on that. As we were coming back, again, I saw Batman and Wolverine outside Pinkberry. I'm sticking with the endorsement from Batman. Everyone should eat Pinkberry because Batman does. The next day was Saturday. Saturday was an epic day. This was probably my favorite day because we got to see so many amazing things and I lost my shit several times. Queued up at 5 a.m. That was not comfortable. It was dark for a good hour and a half. Even though we got there at 5 a.m. we were still really far back, further back than I was for Twilight. So I was starting to freak out that we wouldn't get in, but I had to remind myself that everyone was really spread out and they could press at 8. There was a guy sitting next to us who thought he was Seth Rogen. He was so loud, my God. Debbie got stuck at Starbucks for over an hour trying to get us breakfast, which was horrifying. We finally got into Hall H and we saw the Django Unchained panel, which is Quentin Tarantino's new movie. Jamie Foxx and Christoph Waltz were there, as well as a few others. Leonardo DiCaprio was not there, but that's okay. I would have been too exciting if he was. The footage that they showed, my God, that movie looks amazing. I cannot wait. It's going to be excellent. After that, we had The End of Watch, which is a new movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's basically a point of view in the entire movie about these two LAPD officers as they drive around and protect shit. I guess it's sort of about the camaraderie that they have, but the footage looked pretty cool. It was very much point of view, like they had cameras strapped to their chests and stuff, and the ones underneath their feet in the car and the ones in front of the car. There weren't people with cameras following them around, it was just cameras on them and in the car. It looks like it could be pretty exciting, pretty cool. Sadly, Jake Gyllenhaal was not there. And I'm gonna have to cut us off right here because it's time for my bus, but I will pick this up in Santa Monica, so sorry about the different locations. And we're back, and now in Santa Monica. Straight after End of Watch was the Warner Brothers panel, and it was really exciting because usually they just have one screen, but what they had done for the Warner Brothers panel was they had the screen and then they had screens going along the walls. So everyone just lost their shit when that happened, including myself. To start off the Warner Brothers panel, there was Guillermo del Toro's new one, which is Pacific Rim. Now, my bag was Pacific Rim, my goodie bag, and I didn't really know what it was, and I was all like, oh, I got gypped, I wanted to get a Man of Steel one or a Batman one. When I saw the footage for this, I immediately changed my mind because it looks freaking awesome. I'm really excited about that one. A bunch of monsters come to Earth and they build a bunch of giant machines which are controlled by humans to take on the monsters. Just the footage that they shot, it looks really stellar. He hadn't even finished editing it properly and it still looked amazing, so I think that one's definitely going to be on the to watch list. After that one, we got a surprise visit from two of my future husbands, Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis, for their upcoming movie, The Campaign. They weren't announced, they weren't on the bill at all. Total surprise, so I'm really glad I was in the room when that happened. They were hilarious. They showed an extended trailer of the movie. They did little campaign speeches in their character voices. Straight after their campaign, there was another surprise, an upcoming Godzilla movie. That's going to be really cool. I didn't know that there was another one being made. Just the director came out, showed a quick snippet of it, probably about 30 seconds. But so far those 30 seconds look pretty great. So that's going to be another one that I'll definitely be checking out when it comes out. Then we had the one that everyone during the day had been waiting for, Man of Steel. Only the director and the guy that plays Superman came out. Tell you what, that guy's a bit of a babe. I'll be watching that. Superman theme song is playing now. The reason I chose to have that song playing is because they have decided not to stick with this theme song for the new movie. Little bit disappointed about that because it's probably one of my favorite scores. I'm sure whatever they come up with will be great, and for those playing at home, the trailer will be showing before Batman. When you see the trailer, you'll know what I'm talking about. I literally welled up during that trailer, during the footage that they showed us. Superman's always been one of my favorites. Seeing it come back to the screen like reimagined and not that shit recent one, I'm really looking forward to this one. It's got a real life essence to it, like a real world essence to it. It's definitely an origin story. It looks like it's going to be really, really, really good. If the trailer can make me well up, then I have no doubt that in the movie I might cry because I'm a bit of a sap when it comes to superheroes. After that was the biggest panel, I think, for the day, The Hobbit. Peter Jackson came out, took the podium, introduced everyone, and he said he found him backstage, but I don't know how accurate that is. Elijah Wood was there as well. A good portion of the main cast were there. I was really excited about Ian McKellen because I love that guy. They showed a lot of footage. The panel actually started with a behind the scenes video of their last 5 days shooting. So there was probably about 10 minutes of that, and then he showed us more footage, another 10 minutes of it from all of the movies, not just the first one, but all of them. And it looks really, really, really good. I don't have anything negative to say about that one in any way. I'm super excited for The Hobbit to come out. Based off what I saw at Comic-Con, I think it's going to be even better than I imagined it would be. After the Warner Brothers panel, we had the Marvel panel, which of course included Thor 2, Captain America 2, Ant-Man, Iron Man 3, where we got a very grand entrance by another future husband of mine, Robert Downey Jr. He actually came in through the back door instead of through the side stage, came out to some jam and was walking through the aisles, and everyone was absolutely going nuts. Me and Debbie were probably only like 2 meters away from him. He walked right past us. It was insane. I was starstruck. Everyone just lost their shit. People were screaming, people were crying. It was amazing. He came out with an Iron Man hand on as well, and he was wearing a suit, but he had a red shirt with a gold tie. Very appropriate. He's quite funny. He's very, I don't know, I think he puts on like a character when he's talking to people and press. He's very funny, very quick. That was excellent. The footage from it looks so good. I can't wait for Iron Man 3. I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. And I'm stoked that there's going to be a Captain America 2 because any excuse to look at Chris Evans is a good excuse for me. So that concluded Saturday. Went and had dinner at a little restaurant in Seaport where we got a 2-foot pizza. And I got a giant margarita. That was a good evening. I was chuffed. Sunday was final day of Comic-Con. We used that day to roam the exhibition hall. The exhibition hall is monstrous. Literally, if you're at one end, you can't see the other end from where you're standing. It's bigger than anything I can describe. I can't even think of something that's on the same scale as this place. We literally just back and forth the entire thing, looked at everything. There were so many amazing things. I've got a lot of photos, so I'm going to put them up on Facebook. I'm not going to try and describe everything I saw because that would take a lot of time that people don't have. Did do a little bit of a treat for you guys. I took some footage of us just walking around the hall. When people ask me about Comic-Con, they always say, oh, like Supernova, and I say, no, you have no idea what it's like until you've been there because the scale of it is just monstrous. I'm going to splice in some footage that we took at Comic-Con. The first one is outside Hall H, showing you the length of the queue where it gets in the morning. That's something to think about if you ever decide to come to Comic-Con. Queue up really early. The second one is walking around the hall. Hope you've enjoyed my story thus far. Just got into Santa Monica. We went and grabbed a quick bite to eat at Johnny Rockets, stuffed myself with a burger and a float, and we'll be updating again shortly. But before I end, I would like to introduce to you the very, very first guest appearance on Kate's Corner, my pal, Debbie.